You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
Oh, beautiful, full spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Patriots and Petticoats, it is my pleasure to welcome you aboard Flight 1776 with service to the United States of America and continuing service to a more perfect union. Federal regulations require that carry-on items are stowed prior to closing the aircraft door. Your items may be placed in an overhead compartment or completely under the seat in front of you. Use caution when placing items in or removing them from the overhead compartment, and let us know if we may assist you. In order to expedite the boarding process, please be seated as quickly as possible after stowing your items and take a moment to review the Constitution and Declaration of Independence located on the device in your pocket. If you are unable or unwilling to perform the functions as described on those documents, please let us know and we will find a more suitable destination for you. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to spending our evening with you. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Sunday's edition of Patriots and Petticoats. I'm one of your hosts, literally Heather, and then I also have with me Eric and Chris from Patriot Sports
Look
Radio.
at my American Legion can koozie that the American
that's
Legion guy
nice.
gave me.
I am jealous. I would like an American Legion koozie. It'd be pretty impressive. What's
Pretty
up,
cool guy.
Joey? Tex is in the house. Hi, Eric and Chris. And here we go. Joey, the current reigning champion. And I explained to Joey, we have not discussed prize yet, just because everybody's been a little wild. But I do have the next quarter's first Two Truths and a Lie for this evening. And I will be keeping track of those as well. And then I think, gentlemen, we had discussed it. I think we're going to do a fairly large prize at the end of the year. So if you did not win in the first quarter, the rights that you have will continue. The correct answers, not rights. Say that correctly. Will be counting, for future. So keep that in mind. I beat Jake. That's my prize.
Mhm.
Oh, that's great. Angela, happy Sunday, fam. Hello, love. It is so good to see you here. Miggity Mark, on for a bit. Good to have you, sir. Tex, Heather, looking fabulous as always. Thank you so much. And I beat Jake. That's my prize. So, big news week. Failed miserably, just so the audience knows, a little bit discombobulated. I was away for my daughter's gymnastics camp this weekend. So the show on my part, what I would have had prepared, is pretty thin. So I am relying on my co-hosts to, are Chris and Eric in the same room? Yes, they are. They are in their studio in Wisconsin. I am lonely over in Indiana all by my lonesome. So unfortunately, I do not get to hang out. And guys, if I remember correctly, there's a new studio coming soon.
Yeah, we're gonna have 2 studios going.
Yeah.
At,
The grand opening of the new one.
we've September the 10th, first week of NFL season. We're gonna do a whole big event down there at
Nice.
Canna Bloom Pharmacy. Go to Canna Bloom Pharmacy with an F.com. Use code PSR for 10% off of your purchase.
And do they mail? Like, can I go order from
Oh,
them?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Get yourself some gummies to fall asleep or something for your dog, probably, if it's afraid of thunderstorms. Who knows?
Very cool. All right,
But
gentlemen.
they're putting in like
what-
a state-of-the-art bar and studio space.
Yeah,
It's,
just give me a
it's
second.
awesome.
Chris,
Give me
you're
a
muted.
second. Give me a second. I got a picture of the where the remodel's at right now.
Oh, cool. Awesome. I'm going to go
It's
to
really
one of
cool.
these questions real quick. Whoa. Tex, did you just realize that? I didn't know Eric and Chris were in Wisconsin. No Packer fans? Oh.
Huge
yeah.
Packer fans.
We got
So Tex, in case you don't know, I try to plug it at the beginning of each show when I announce them, but both of these gentlemen are very big Packer fans, and they have if you like sports, and I think you do,
We have a sports network. I mean, that's
they
really
have a
what we do.
sports network. Like that's their big thing. This is just kind of a side project.
We only did this to chill with Heather.
Yeah,
That's it.
they let me hang out with them for a few minutes.
Shit.
this is like when I signed up for French class because there were girls.
Because
For 1 hour a week, we have to be grown-ups, and this is me and Eric being grown-ups. If you come over to Patriots Sports Radio, we're not grown-ups.
But
We're
it's a
talking
really good.
shit.
Okay, so funny story for anybody who's watching right now. So I was in. I'm going to tell you guys the story about how I actually met Chris and Eric really fast. I don't think
Hey, I'm
we've
gonna
ever
share
done
this
that on
though
this
really
show.
quick too.
So I was in a podcasting space on Twitter where they were teaching you like the tips and tricks on how to like be a successful podcaster. And, you know, they were kind of going back and forth and giving different ideas of promotional stuff. It was a good little space hosted by Pixie, and Chris happened to be in the room at the time. And I was listening to him speak, and he was very funny. Like he was just very charismatic, very inviting. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go see what this is all about. Well, I go listen to like the first, I don't know, 2 or 3 episodes, and Chris really didn't speak at all. And I was like, wait a minute. This is like a different person, which was Eric. He was the one that kind of runs the show. And so I had the opportunity to kind of start engaging with them. I helped them out with their website a little bit. And so we became
A little bit?
just a little bit. But we became really good friends through that process. And so I would come on and ruin their show all the time, asking them to help me pick my fantasy picks for that week. And I'd be like completely derailing their Sunday
No, you're the
morning
lifeblood
show
of the show.
every single time I would come on. And so this I think was like the concession. They're like, okay, Heather, stop womaning up our sports show. We're gonna come
No
talk
way.
politics with you.
No.
So
We're
that
here
no, I'm just
That
kidding.
you owe it to us to come on that show.
Jordan Love, future Hall of Famer, MVP next year's Super Bowl. Let's go, Pat. Hey, look at the I shared the update on the remodel.
Okay. Throw this up on the stream real quick.
So that's the
Oh.
studio. The studio's back there.
Very cool.
And then the bar's right here. The TVs will be up here. It'll be legit.
That's very
Very
awesome.
nice.
So that glass part that's up at the top right there, is that part
Inside the
of yes, like is that
Yeah.
part of your studio? Is that
Yep. That's the
Okay,
studio.
cool.
That and then it goes back further. And then it's all glass there, glass here, so we can see inside the bar. You guys can people, and there'll be couches over here. Come hang out. There's a stage going way over here. We're gonna have comedians on Thursday nights.
Ooh, nice.
that's gonna be so cool.
Angela is gonna just got to get in there and do the interior decorations of the studio, but that's where it's at right now.
That's so awesome. Very cool. Congratulations, you guys. You guys really deserve that. I'm super happy for both of you. Like it's just and Angela and Coach. You guys are you
And
guys
yes, oh wait, yes, Tex, the Packers game will be on there weekly.
Yep.
That'll be a Packer bar.
Oh, that's great. Are they going to serve booze or just
I don't think
CBD
so.
products?
Yeah, I think
No.
it's all herbal remedies.
Hang on.
Hang
Stop.
on.
Just made it. They just made a deal with the company out of Minnesota that sells
Minnesota.
old fashions, Bloody Marys, all the cocktail drinks you can think
All
of.
your Midwestern type.
All of them. Yep. But there's no alcohol, and they're infused with 10 milligrams of Delta 9 THC. But they taste exactly like the deal, like the
Very
Delta
cool.
8.
Delta 9.
Delta 9, that's legal now? We can do that? What a time to be alive.
Not over 0.3% per gram.
That's too much science.
Yeah, it's
I'm just
hemp.
gonna let the bartender figure it out.
But so that's kind of cool. So it is gonna have that.
Love it.
That's very cool.
Beverages. They
Joey
also
said,
showed us-
why does this look like it's a swingers club or a sketchy massage parlor?
That's on Saturday.
Well, there's nothing in there quite yet. It's still in a remodel, so it does probably look sketchy.
Boy, if we could get Joey in the Betts Laboratory at Cannon Bloom Studios for an episode, that'd be fun.
Yes.
You're invited.
Packer fans are fun. Brats and tailgates at Lambeau are famous.
It's a good
Hot
point.
ham sandwiches and Bloody Marys.
Parking in
Bratwurst
people's
at the
yacht.
game.
Whole stadium's just surrounded by random houses, residential areas.
And I parked in the same yard every time I've ever been to a Packers game, and it's $20. And they started that when his wife was pregnant with their one daughter they have. They did it for 18 years and completely paid her college. And you park there for $20. The wife, she makes a complete food spread, bratwurst, everything, and then a full bar. It all comes with the $20. All you can eat, all you can drink.
You could easily charge for all that, but up here we're nice.
3 foot from the stadium. It's awesome.
Yep. Chris is from Oklahoma. That's where you get your Oklahoma State memorabilia.
Baltimore
Okay.
Orioles is up there, Tex, because last year we bet the over as a podcast of what was it, 52 wins?
60.
62?
No,
60,
I think it was 60 wins.
60
something like
wins.
that.
And coach was like, I'm buying a Baltimore Orioles hat for the studio if they make that. And they crushed it. They had that beat before the All-Star break almost.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
So they get that.
That's funny.
That's who we are.
And we bet a lot, Tex. That's what we do. We're degenerates. I'll pull up the presidential odds here in a little bit. We'll get into some of that.
Ooh, that would be good for the show to start talking about some of that stuff.
Because Joe, we have an insider in Joey, and he might be able to read these lines and be like, "There's a lot of value with this guy right here," and I think we can make some money on this.
I'm still pissed about election night. Joe Biden was 12-1 when I went to bed. There was like absolutely no chance.
Wow.
I was so happy that I had Trump like 2-1. This is gonna be beautiful. This thing's over.
Then there was some
I
sort
don't
of
know what happened, but when I got up in the morning, things were different.
3 Hail Marys later, a busted water pipe, no electricity.
Yeah, once
shit like that.
The water pipe was when I knew that there's no hope.
Oh man. Okay. Which, by the way, last week or the week before, those women were completely exonerated of all charges.
They love to do that quietly, like
Yeah.
14 months later.
Wait, what was it? Say that again, Heather.
Do you
Sorry, I
remember
missed
the 2 women in the Fulton County election facility that magically had the water pipe bust and she pulled out the ballots out from underneath of the table?
Mhm.
She was just completely exonerated. Both women were completely exonerated of all charges.
What?
Oh, they must have blue shirts on.
A Bankman-Fried kid just walked away from the SFX.
Yeah, what's up
thing.
with that?
I
Where's he at?
know.
Is he not
How
dead yet?
fucking ridiculous
FTX.
is that?
Where's he at?
Wherever he wants. He's at home.
Nice.
He's off.
Back in the
He's good.
Bahamas, probably in his house, gotten paid for by the investors.
Not
Real nice.
Cheers to gambling. Saw the Dodgers smoke the Brewers for my first in-person game ever.
That'll
We're happy.
happen.
That's what
Throw
we
some
do,
shit
Joey.
down.
We make dreams come true over here at Patriot Sports Radio.
Fighting the recession. One wager.
Even
at
if that is taking one for the, we gotta go take an L, make Joey's night. We'll do that.
Okay, let's get into it, gentlemen. One of the things that Eric, you had mentioned, physical fitness is such a far-right extremist idea that the Ninja Turtles aren't even ripped anymore. So a couple people kind of made like, I brought this up in Liberty Happy Hour, and a couple people were like, well, they're teenagers. They're not supposed to be ripped. And I'm like, they are mutant Ninja
Turtles.
Like, that's the whole point. They're mutant. Like, that's how they became big, burly, powerful ninja fighting turtles.
Yeah. They've always been, like the shape of a boxer, at least. In some of the movies, they're giant, like NFL size dudes.
Yeah.
This is like a random grouping of 4 high school kids.
Yes.
Like a couple in chess club, one that carries an inhaler.
Wait, do they really carry an inhaler?
I don't know, possibly. The fact that you think it's real or could be real says a lot.
Yeah. I 100% could see Raphael walking around with an inhaler.
Yep.
Shout out to all you Raphael guys.
I was always a rock.
What are we doing?
I like the size. Those are cool. Thought Michelangelo was such an easy answer. Michelangelo, I thought that was the lazy take. Obviously, he's the coolest.
No.
But you have to look
Donatello is the
deeper than
best
that.
Ninja Turtle. It's
No,
not even
what are we
debatable.
doing right now? No, we're
But
not fighting.
Raphael
over
is the
Teenage
most
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
aggressive. He's the most violent. He's the most vengeful, and he has cool weapons. And
Did you guys
red.
play Dungeons and Dragons too? Like, how big a sided dice do you have? Oh, is yours? Do you have a 1,600 sided dice with your Mutant Ninja Turtle figurine? The fuck!
Chris was already installing HVAC systems while I was watching Ninja Turtles.
I was crushing
Oh,
motherfucker's
man.
skull on the wrestling mat, baby. Riding bulls and wrestling.
Oh,
But I mean, okay, but that goes back to the point that Eric originally made. Like, there have
But my
been
little brother
articles
been
coming out that physical fitness, like going to the gym and working out, is a far right extremist behavior.
Yeah.
You're an extremist if you go to
It's
the
the
gym.
fucking truth.
I was thinking
If you
about
want to
this.
show how kick-ass of a Democrat you are, get fatter. Be as fat, like
Dye your
the
hair another
fatter
color.
you are, the
Get on that
harder blue you. That is the resistance. Fucking donuts. Do it.
It's they're always trying to Nazify Joe Rogan. And I was thinking about it today. I bet you psychedelics are next. I bet the next white supremacy thing is psychedelics.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
Janet Yellen's going over eating magic mushrooms in China. I don't know if they're going to take those away.
Get them fat. Eat some more. Keep going.
Yeah.
How blue are you?
Mushrooms, yeah, they might make you realize that you're a cog in a
We'll
big
see you on the hill if
machine.
you can climb it, kid.
Yeah. All right, Chris, I see you've got a clip down here. I'm going to go ahead and add it to the stream.
Boom. We got clips.
Are we gonna get in trouble?
I don't care.
Put us on the don't can you share it with us on there too? That way we can talk over it a little
Oh,
bit.
yep.
There we go. Now we'll be all right.
Boom. Oh, I can't hear it. Wait, can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
I can't.
Oh, I can't either.
Oh wait, what? You can't hear it?
Nope.
Yeah, no.
Joey, can you hear it?
In the meantime, Joey says, well, yeah, I tend to assume someone's politics based on their BMI.
That's badass.
No sound, says Jake.
Okay. Momentary technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. I really love. Hello, all watching from Michigan while taking a bath.
I really want a potato. There's a lot
I
to
wouldn't mind
unpack
having
there.
a potato myself. A potato sounds really good right now, like
A
a
loaded
big,
baked potato, dude.
yes, or like the McAllister's baked potatoes with the. Oh gosh, it sounds good.
Yep.
Man, what's up, Michigan?
I think my potato rankings are golden potatoes.
Will you put
red
it up there and see if this
potatoes.
works?
Nope.
How do I make it have sound?
You have to make sure that the tab that you're sharing down in the bottom left-hand corner when you're getting ready to put it up there, there's a click box that says, so when you say share tab, there's a click box to the bottom left that says share tab sound. Very memorable screen name. I like it. The A makes me think you might be
Mine
an
doesn't
immigrant
have
from
that.
Canada. Huh?
Mine doesn't have that.
Oh, shoot.
It just says share.
The fact that it's really want a potato
Put
makes
the
me
link
think
in our
potato
private
is a
chat,
verb.
Chris, and I'll do it.
Like they want to do something that's called potatoing. Like I really want a potato right now.
Fellow bath enjoyer, Rudy and Exit can eat it. I don't know. Men taking baths is weird to me. I assume all of you guys are right leaning, hopefully.
For the
I don't
most
know that I
part.
would say right leaning. I would say we're all fairly independent
Hey,
individuals. I see it.
Yeah, it's not fucking Republicans and Democrats. What does that even fucking mean anymore? Because these fucking Democrats are going to war and just fucking
The way
war these are just words that just shift meaning constantly.
the way they've all acted since COVID really makes it so I don't see a whole lot of difference. Like between COVID and Ukraine, a lot of them are just all throwing
all
the
the
same
same.
sound bites at me. Mike Pence just did it the other day.
We're just there's the Democrats and Republicans and the
Which
Americans, I guess.
I was never a Mike Pence guy. How is that your vice president?
All right, let's try this, gentlemen.
I don't
Sounds
know if
hot.
it's exactly where it was supposed to be.
Country is broken. We are spiritually broken. We have a spiritual
You guys hear
void in
that?
this country. It is our job to step up and fill that void by practicing what we preach as conservatives. And so I'm hoping we're doing that. I love doing that in Iowa. It's been something that's really lifted me up in a way that was never an experience I had as a CEO or in business. I've never had these experiences as we've had in the last few months. And honestly,
when to
as
stop.
broken as our country is, it leaves me
We
optimistic about where we're headed.
What I wanted to
listen
play
to people. It's
starts
okay.
right
It's
now.
okay. It's not going to hurt
So
you.
what? Okay, so it's so interesting. So you, and I think the intro of you described some of it, but you're coming from a completely different world. It's not like you were mayor, state legislator. You're coming from business and technology and biotech. So what have you learned? Like, how have your views changed since you immersed yourself in crowds of voters and started listening to people?
Yeah, so I think my views have changed in part by my belief that we're not as divided as they make it out to be, right? Because many CEOs in this country are frightened, right? Of speaking their mind openly. It actually stops many of them will say, well, stops them from being donors to me, to maybe other causes. They're deathly scared because they believe that we're a nation at our breaking point. And in some ways we are, because we let it get there. But one of the things I've been convinced of, I've changed my mind on, is that I don't think we're nearly as divided as we're taught to believe. But I went to the south side of Chicago. It's one of the places it's not really where the political advisors would tell you to go if you're in a Republican primary. I went to Kensington and downtown in the inner city of Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia. And I'll tell you, the people in those rooms, especially in the south side of Chicago, where they're converting South Shore High School into an encampment for migrants who they're spending $7,000 per person per month on.
That'll change some minds.
This is
Yeah,
the
no kidding.
supposedly far left, nearly entirely black, Democratic voting bloc. And I have never heard more eloquent cases for securing the border and actually prioritizing the interests of Americans than I heard in that room.
What did they say?
They said, what about us?
Yeah.
Was actually the right way to say that. And it came out in many ways where, look, we are Christians. We believe in treating these people humanely, but it's not right that they're spending $7,000 a month and getting baby formula when I couldn't find baby formula a year ago. I can't buy sneakers for my kids. They're providing sneakers
stop it,
for
Heather.
those kids. How does that work?
My plan was to skip around because I kind of know where they're at, and if it doesn't work on my side, then it's not going to work.
Oh, I apologize.
No, it's all good. He gets in. In this video, he really breaks down exactly how legally he is going to lay every bureaucracy off at once, one mass layoff, and he goes through the constitutional steps that it's going to take, and he can do it in one day.
Wow.
But he really breaks it down, and he says all the statutes he's going to use.
Isn't he?
For like the defense division, for the IRS division, all that. He breaks it all down.
Isn't he in doing that signing his own death warrant?
No,
in DC.
He doesn't care. Oh, and then the agencies that we have to keep because they're necessary will not be in DC anymore. And he has a plan exactly how to move them and where they're going to go.
Wow.
That's the kind of radical change I think we need.
I think that's the radical change. So a lot of people are like, oh, we're too polarized. I think we're too polarized still. I think that they want we're a country of rematches. We want, the Biden versus Trump again. And I think that Vivek is going to change that. Or at least I hope so. You guys know I've been cheering for Vivek since the beginning. So when everybody jumps on the train, just know I already loved him. Okay.
Dude, I really want a potato is going to be a very interesting addition.
I know I'm getting ready to go through. He said, true, you're my crowd. Tech said labels are fine, like labels for dog breeds or car brands. Joey said, Mike Pence is a plain flavored popsicle. He's got the same amount of appeal as gonorrhea.
That was just to get the Bible Belt, Mike Pence.
I really want a potato said, I have a unique life experience. I was a copper in Detroit, 8 years. Yeah, shot a guy. Was an Army private, specialist, sergeant, lieutenant, and captain. I worked under NATO. NATO sucks. I was also a med rep for Pfizer for 5 years. My job was basically paying off doctors. And I also sold health insurance and even arrest trans prostitutes. I have lived almost everything going on today. Glad I found you all. Oh, we're glad you found us too, man. It's absolutely true. Plus, I have more experience. I think that you will be a very fun addition and possibly even on the show with us at some point.
We can
in
talk
time.
pharmaceuticals with them. We can talk world policy.
Will wants to come on and talk some pharmaceuticals with you too.
Ooh,
yeah.
Be good.
And his son is in the Army now. Congratulations, or I'm sorry for you. Either one at this
Little
point.
of both.
Chris, I see that you've got another. You've got the bets up here. Can we go through that in just a minute?
Yeah.
Because I've got a couple of videos that I want to share. I do have a Vivek video.
I sent you another one in the private chat.
Okay, what's the timestamp? Do you want me to pull up on that one?
It's just a short.
Okay, gotcha.
And I don't know the timestamps. I need to control of that. I'll have to log in the other way next week.
Yeah, that's fine. Present.
I don't care.
Making shit work over here. Teamwork, making the dream work.
Is this the privilege one? I want to make sure I'm sharing the right one. Yes.
My parents came to this country with almost no money. I've gone on to found multi-billion-dollar companies. And then people tell me, oh, that's because you had privilege. They tell me white privilege. It's sort of weird. It's sort of an interesting. It's kind of interesting.
Isn't he Indian?
Did you hear Tucker?
To take the blindfold off.
What did Tucker say?
You missed the whole joke.
The answer is
you have to rewind it now.
Okay, I rewound it.
Multi-billion-dollar companies. And then people tell me, oh, that's because you had privilege. They tell me white privilege. It's sort of weird. It's sort of an interesting. It's kind of interesting.
Do you tell him?
As I take the blindfold off, and now you have your answer. But the interesting answer is actually what I do tell him, Tucker, is that I did have privilege. I didn't grow up in money, but I had two parents in the house, a mother and a father, with a focus on education and a faith in God. And you know what? That is the ultimate privilege. That if I'm going to
That's-
enjoy
yeah.
that, every kid in this country ought to enjoy it too.
Okay, so I have a quick question. I didn't get to watch much of this. I know that the Turning Point USA conference was this week, and a couple clips that I'm going to share are from that. But who did Tucker Carlson annihilate besides Mike Pence? Apparently, he interviewed a couple other people and just completely
Asa.
destroyed their campaigns.
Asa
Who's Asa?
Hutchinson,
Oh, I don't know who that is.
the ex-governor of Arkansas.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking
Asa
about.
Hutchinson. Yeah, he's him.
Okay. And then Chris Christie, did he interview him?
He didn't even go, did he? He didn't go. He didn't
And then
show
what
up.
about, I guess, was it a total disaster for what's her face too? Because they said there were 3
She's not
campaigns
even.
that got
Yeah,
ruined.
I mean, whatever.
Whatever.
She's a woman, so she's different on the scale of destroyed campaign
True.
than a white old dude that Come on, she's much higher on the privilege scale. Heather,
I like Vivek accept his statement that transgender should be allowed in the military. Vivek is surprising and refreshing, but I'm firmly in Florida man's corner. Asa Hutchinson was not there. Nikki Haley, you're on top of it. Evil 7 Win, what's up? Hello. Hello, which I'm thinking maybe Germany
Hola.
is where you're coming to us from. She went down with her statement about Joe Biden getting 81 million votes. Too funny. Okay, let me pull this up real fast. Video file. Let's see if I can. I've created like just a folder for Patriot sports stuff, or not Patriot sports, but ours. Okay, so first, Tucker Carlson himself. So I'm going to play this real fast.
Punished for lying. People are only punished for telling the truth. You could literally wake up tomorrow, move to the Bahamas, start a fake cryptocurrency, defraud 1 million investors around the world of billions of dollars. I'm just saying you could do, and I'm not recommending it. Note to the FEC, not recommending it. But you could do that, and you could get caught, and people might have like a balanced view of you. He's really smart, good guy, got a little over his skis, as we say. But like, I'm not going to hate on him. Right? We all make mistakes. Like, who here, raise your hand if you haven't defrauded 1 million investors with a fake cryptocurrency. Okay, there are some. You cast the first stone then. Those kinds of crimes, which is to say actual crimes, like burning down buildings, impoverishing people, starting totally counterproductive wars we can't win that kill a lot of our citizens, leaving the border open so 7 million people can walk across. Those are not small things. That's not all like forgetting to fold your napkin correctly at Thanksgiving. Those are like actually kind of world historic crimes. Never punished. What are the crimes that are punished? Thought crimes. Thinking the wrong thing, having the wrong beliefs, saying unapproved words. And those words, no one is.
So I thought that was pretty powerful. And it was well received in that room. And I think that Tucker, I've seen like flirtings and rumors that there's a media corporation on the back end of this. Now, I don't know with his Fox agreement, like what that looks like from a timeline perspective. If he's going to move or push for his contract to be released. But I'm certain that he has investors willing to compensate for whatever that would do to him financially.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I just...
He's at like the peak of his popularity right about now.
Yeah. The next one that I had that I thought would be really good to discuss, I've got a really good one that's going to be, it's unrelated to politics. So I'm going to bring up these other two real fast. One is Donald Trump. And Actually, I'm not going to show him yet because I want Chris to be here for that one. I'm going to show this other Vivek clip, which I thought was amazing.
Speaking the truth, the hard truth, without apology. We will do it without fear. We will speak the truth today. God is real. Unborn life is life. There are two genders. Fossil fuels are a requirement for human prosperity. Reverse racism is racism. An open border is not a border. Parents determine the education of their children. The nuclear family is the best known form of governance to mankind. Capitalism is the best system known to man to lift people up from poverty. There are 3 branches of government, not 4, and the U.S. Constitution is the strongest guarantor of freedom in human history. That is the truth. We will not back down from the truth. We stand up for the truth. That is what won us the American Revolution. That is what will win us the revolution of 2024. That is what it means to be an American today. Thank you.
I love this line.
Thank
that
you.
he
Gonna
has
cry?
here in a second. Standing ovation.
Oh, don't worry, there's more. I'm just getting warmed up.
So I thought that was incredibly powerful, saying all of the things they don't want you to say on a stage they don't want you to be on. And it's
Yep.
interesting because Donald Trump had to come up after him. Like he was like the headliner. And so here was one of Donald Trump's things, because I want to be fair to the people who were there. And I was disappointed. Like
fully
extremely.
uphold
Trump
and
can't match
support
that
the
energy.
Second Amendment. Nobody has ever done a job like I've done on the
Lies.
Second
Lies.
Amendment. And I will tell you, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, but we defended the Second Amendment like nobody else could have.
Lies.
He does that a lot.
So many lies. And I like, man, I have just, the Trump train is, I've got off at a station a couple years ago and I'm not going back.
I was on it mostly unwillingly in the first place.
Right. I am,
This guy is the exact breath of fresh air I'm
yeah,
looking for.
yes.
as a
I'm very
conservative
impressed with
voter.
him. And I hope that more people, normally, I mean, our show isn't all videos, you know, for people to watch, but I think that this is important because this doesn't get airtime. Like you don't see these clips or this conversation because nobody wants you to see it. But there are candidates out there that are not Donald Trump and they are not Ron DeSantis. Joey said neocon Nikki. That's one that will flame out after Iowa. Sorry, I guess I talk a lot or type a lot, but I've enjoyed Tucker ever since he began MSNBC, then went on CNN, then went to Fox. We really
Yeah.
like him too.
Tucker's good
Uh,
at delivering a message.
A better speaker than
The truth.
Obama.
Yeah.
I'm a Trump guy.
Vivek,
Take care.
yeah.
Good luck to you all. Okay.
Even
Where do
Angela's
I sign?
there.
He's got my vote. I really want a potato. We don't want you to leave, but if the contingent factor is that it has to be Trump, I think it's important to call out the bad along with the good. I've just been really disappointed in him. lately.
I think he was onto something, wanting to pull out of NATO and the Paris Climate
Yeah.
Accord, though. I think those are both becoming
NAFTA,
much more clear every day.
creating the pulling out of NAFTA and creating the whatever it is, the with Canada, Mexico, I think all of that was really good too. I think he made some really smart decisions, but to come on stage, say that you were the strongest Second Amendment person that's ever happened, and I mean, like, guns are my thing, right? So the only reason that the bump stock ban happened was because Donald Trump signed off on it. And I have a
I
problem
can't believe
with
he
that.
did that.
And it created this. It's like a
It's so crazy.
snowball
For
effect.
what?
Like now they keep going after gun rights, and I have a problem with that.
God, I can't believe he did that.
Oh, yeah, it was a really
What a
bad
character.
move. Tucker's the media voice of the conservative populist movement.
Yep.
USMCA. Thank you, Joey. I could not remember. Okay, so I do have another video. Wait, Chris, I'm going to come to you for stats.
Oh,
Talk to me
yep.
about this.
Eric, break her down. Trump came down 2 cents overnight.
Yeah. So
So
Explain
that
how
means
this works.
So here we want to find a long shot, right? Because Eric and I like long shots or plus money, some would
Okay.
call it.
somebody whose shares are going to become more valuable. Vivek at 12 cents compared to Trump
So-
at 59 cents. I think I just saw a much more compelling speech from Vivek.
Well, no, let's just break this down really quick from a better standpoint. So obviously we're gonna buy on Vivek right now at 12 cents a share. Leave Donald Trump alone today. If they indict Donald Trump, his stock will drop. It may just be a temporary drop, but it will drop. Then we'll hedge hard with Trump at a lower stock rate because he'll end up getting the nomination even if he's in prison, and then it will shoot up. And then
Once he officially does, yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
And then so that's how I want to play that. You want to buy Vivek today. If you're going to play the game, the little fun stock betting game, but buy today because he's going to do nothing but climb.
Why does it say he's 2 cents down? How does that work?
It's just like the stock market. It's constantly watching the predicted polls on where people are at, and it's in real time.
So that's interesting. So Ron
We
DeSantis
could come back in an hour, and it could switch.
Okay.
Chris Christie.
Maybe Ron DeSantis just did a interview and it sounded really good. That'll switch a 2 cent switch in an hour. We could come back and Vivek could do a podcast in 15 minutes and come back in an hour and he's up 4 cents and DeSantis down 4 cents. So you just got to buy right. 12 cents is a great buy.
Yeah.
And then we can look at here's Ron and here's Vivek. He's done nothing but climbing.
Yeah, DeSantis, he just laid off some campaign workers. He's not getting the funds coming in.
There's Christie.
Losing some
Tim
momentum.
Scott, Youngkin. But then it gets a little ugly to look at. So let's just look at these three. They're the top three. Vivek's been climbing. And that's going to be continual.
Pretty flat, right? Is that what I
Huh?
see on here? Trump has been staying pretty
Yeah,
flat.
just a little bit. He's gained. Yeah.
Everybody's probably waiting to see what happens with him.
We're betting the stock at Vivek right now, betting that he's going to be the number 2 in a few months.
Gotcha.
And then we can sell high. Like I said, though, if they indict Trump, this will fall dramatically for a minute, and we got to catch it and then push and then go hedge our bet
on Trump
because it's going to shoot back up, and then we can sell high. But we got to buy low. You can't buy right here. I mean, that's pretty high. 60 cents. I mean, that's high.
Yeah. Joey said primaries are all turnout, guys. We'll be talking about this ad nauseum when it's all underway.
Look at Gavin Newsom at 20 cents. He's higher than DeSantis in this primary.
Wow. Oh, man. He's high. He's not even announced, and he's higher than RFK.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So people think that he's going to run.
Yeah.
Quite a few people do.
At 20 cents and you haven't announced, you're the front runner.
When do you have to? When is the deadline for them to announce a presidential run? Joey, do you know the answer to that? Okay, I'm going to take this down. And then I've got one more video that I want to play for you guys. This is a superintendent at a school and she is talking about, so I want to make sure that I explain the story clearly. So I apologize. She's an assistant superintendent at Glendale, California Unified. And she makes a comment in here. She's speaking about male coaches who are having biological females change in front of them in a locker room. And she makes a comment about the stigmatization of um, assault. It's one of the most disgusting things that I've seen, and she laughs about it, and I couldn't believe it. So here you go.
For this one family, it was a matter of, well, we have other schools. Which one would your child like to transfer to? And eventually they homeschool, which understandably. Where I've seen the most resistance is with our coaches. And it's interesting because for them, I think once they interact with a student who's gender expansive or transgender, it takes the mystique away. And then they realize, oh, it's just a kid. Oh, it's just a boy. It's just a girl. I get it now. But until they have that personal interaction, we have male coaches who are horrified at the thought of having a biological girl changing clothes in front of them. The stigma attached to, abuse and, just having a male teacher around any female student in that circumstance is just scary for them. And, it's one thing for me to keep saying, it's not a girl, it's not a girl, it's not a girl. You only have boys in the boys' locker room until they arrive, until they experience it and realize, oh, I only have boys in the locker room. Then that helps.
Yeah. Same woman. One more clip and then I'm done. And then we'll discuss. Same woman talking about how they disguise it.
Of a student and affirming their gender identity is we do what's right for the child, and for that youth. So legally, we have to have one permanent record for our kids. There's nothing in the law that says where that permanent record is kept. So for a handful of kids in my district, their permanent record's in my office. It's literally next to me in a file drawer. So what we have at the school sites is a permanent record that is affirming of their name of choice, their gender identity. Everything in it is unified to who the child is and who the child wants us to know them to be. And then there's a letter in it from me saying that I acknowledge that this is an incomplete student record, and if there's any questions, to please contact me directly. So that way, we literally go into the computer system, and nowhere in the computer system does it have the gender of birth or the name of birth. So, we've really kind of gone out on a limb, and I know that's
Ooh, now you get to see my face super close up because my partners in crime ended up dropping out, not on purpose. They're having internet issues. But audience, I'm curious to hear your all's thoughts on this. Like, I know it's California and we just keep saying that, but we're to the point where in that state, the teachers and the school districts have completely taken over to the and even, I mean, the law has taken over to where parents have no power, no control over people like this woman. Like, this to me, whew, I got police escorted out of the last superintendent's meeting that I attended. I can't imagine what would happen if I crossed paths with this lady. But it's hard for me to see that and then be like, not feel sorry for those kids and not wonder what the fuck is going on in California at this point. It's crazy. Joey answered us. He said depends on the state. Really, with the primary season starting earlier and earlier every year, August, early September is the absolute latest that you would want to announce. That's interesting. That will be fascinating to see how that shakes out. How many bottles of wine does she drink every day? No, Jake. It's boxes. That is a Franzia woman for sure. She does not have bottles of wine. She has boxes of wine. Joey said, the people I'm working with in Glendale are fighting this chick tooth and nail. So is this in the same district as the Muslim community that is doing all the protests and stuff? If so, that's awesome. Well, not awesome for them, but apparently like her salary is somewhere around like $263,000 a year, and they only have like roughly 25,000 students. So 43% of that school is proficient in math and 65% is in reading. So you're telling me that only 43% of your students can do math, but you've got a special folder of their gender over to the right-hand side of your desk. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. Your job is to teach those children, nothing else. Like, and how, oh God, man, I could rail on this all night. Would be cool to have you talk with Jordan, who's running for Glendale School Board. Absolutely. Joy, connect me to Jordan. I would be more than happy to touch base. Armenian, they're Christian. I apologize. Not Muslim. Man, Armenians are worse, I feel like. I wouldn't want to fuck with an Armenian. Certainly not with regards to their kids.
No.
I don't know if you guys were able to see the second clip, but
No.
it doesn't matter. So her salary, just so you guys know, her salary is $263,000 a year. School system has roughly 25,000 kids.
Where's it
By
at?
high school, only 43% of their students are proficient in math, and
Where's it
only
at?
65% are proficient in reading.
Where's it at?
Glendale, California.
You know, when
That's
they
the
start,
superintendent. Hold up, stop. I was really confused. What was she talking about? Awake or having a wake? Her burning bush is that the religious
when you
part?
finally give up and you say,
when you-
I'll just repeat the thing.
No, it's whenever you
Arrive.
become a pedophile.
Yeah.
When
you arrive.
Why was she
So-
talking about the biological women were dudes?
So,
I lose track of who's really girls and who's really boys when they start talking about this stuff.
So based off of the video, she's talking about male coaches in a male sports locker room with biological females who
That say
are
they're male.
identifying as men.
How does she still have a job?
People like her get they get, promotions in
Is
California.
she voted? Is that a voted? What?
She's the assistant superintendent. It's an appointed
she's not.
position. It is
Yeah.
not a voted position. And it's, I mean, it just blows my mind. Like you
Can we
have,
just can we blow her up on social media and be like, "Fuck you"?
oh,
bitch.
well, yeah, on social media. Yeah. In Minecraft for sure.
What's Minecraft?
I'm sorry. That was the wrong thing to say to you. Just pretend you didn't hear me say that.
Why?
Because
What are you trying to say?
I'm not. It's a video
What?
game reference and you'll
What are
just
you
get
talking
mad.
about?
Yep.
I'm not.
Great nap music on Minecraft. When Natalie used to play that.
Yeah.
But
just
why are
nap.
we? How did Minecraft come into this? I don't
When
understand.
people make a reference to
media.
something like, can we blow her up? You would say yes in Minecraft. Like
Yeah.
blow her up as in like an explosion. Like it was just
In a video
pop
game.
culture reference.
Yes.
How many what's your biggest sided dice?
20? A D20, I think, is the biggest one. Joey, you'll have to confirm.
No, Jake
Who
is
was talking about
the
it? Jake?
Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah, somebody
player.
was talking about slandering and
Yep,
it not being okay.
it was Jake.
I believe the D20. I listen to Pardon My Take, and they play Dungeons and Dragons once a year. They just do a whole episode where they have a guy come in and they play a campaign. It's pretty funny.
Oh, that's great.
My brother Ben played that a lot.
It is just I could never get into it. It's not that I don't like it. It's not that I don't think it's good. Lodestorm is over on Rumble, and I have been sucking. He said, "Yep, Minecraft is all about being square." D100. Joey said, "Yeah, the Glendale parents are making noise. They called Gag in, and then Trantifa showed up, and it was all over from there." So.
They bust that Trantifa in very effectively.
All right, gentlemen, we have 10 minutes until 10. I think this is a good spot for Two Truths and a Lie. Is that good for you guys right now?
Yeah.
Works for us.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies. Oh, no, no, you can't.
Can you
This is
determine
my
the lie without cheating?
favorite. Yes. Okay. So for those who are watching that are not regular attendees for Patriots and Petticoats, we do a segment at the end of every show called Two Truths and a Lie. Two of the stories are real. One of them is written by me and it is not real. You have to determine without Googling, because that's cheating and we don't like cheating here. This is my mom finger. You have to determine which story is the lie. Tonight is the first night of the new quarter. So,
Clean slate.
story number 1. Organizers of an annual rodeo and festival announced that
are
they
real.
broke a Guinness World Record by serving more than 17,000 pancakes in 8 hours.
Flapjacks.
An annual exhibition, rodeo, and festival announced pancakes started being served to volunteers at 6:30 a.m. on Sunday and started being served to the public when the doors opened at 8 a.m. Story number 1. Story number 2. If I can get this off of my screen. Hundreds of divers and snorkelers listened to an underwater concert that advocated coral reef protection Saturday.
Yep, that's real. They'd totally do that.
The Underwater Music Festival, which also highlighted eco-conscious diving, took place in an area south of Big Pine Key. Established in 1990, the sanctuary protects 3,800 square miles of water, including the barrier reef that parallels the 125-mile chain.
Gotta
Story
protect.
number 3. In a puzzling turn of events, a rare species of frogs is on the brink of extinction due to an alarming trend of only female offspring being born. Scientists have been baffled by the unprecedented phenomenon, which has left the population unable to sustain itself and teetering on the edge of collapse. The frog species, known as the rainbow cascade frogs, was once abundant in remote rainforest habitats. However, over the past decade, a significant decline in male offspring has been observed, resulting in an overwhelming majority of female frogs in the population. Which story is the lie?
The lesbian frogs.
Female frogs.
The water's turning them gay. I have to work on a Alex Jones. I bet I could do an Alex
Give me
Jones
the
if I
second one
dedicated some
again.
time
The
to it.
best Alex Jones I've ever heard is Fox. It's so good. Number 1 is 17,000 pancakes in 8
2.
hours. Number 2 is an underwater music show. And number 3 is a female overcoming of the frogs.
Yep, me and
2.
Joey are on the same page.
Joey says 3. Chris says 2. Jake says 3.
Shit.
Eric says 3.
That sucks.
2 is the one I believe the most, so it's probably 2.
Alex Jones has been right a lot. Just takes like 20 years.
I thought Alex
now it's like
Jones
20
said
minutes.
frogs were gay. I didn't think he said they were all being born females.
Yep, that's why I said lesbian frogs.
Gotcha. Well, for those who are playing, let me check Rumble real fast. 1. Not enough pancakes. So Lodestorm says 1. Eric says 3. Chris says 2. Joey
Everybody
and
else
Jake
says
say
3.
3. Huh?
Everybody else said 3.
No. Lodestorm said number 1.
Right.
Not
but
enough
everybody
pancakes.
else-
I mean, that really isn't that many and that long. But
Yeah,
the
maybe
answer
that's
is
not the
3.
record.
Number 3 is the lie.
Damn it.
Undefeated in
So-
quarter number, what is it, third quarter?
Okay, I have to write this down because I'll forget it if I don't. Okay, and I don't want to go back. So Chris said 2. Eric said 3. It was 3. Jake and Joey both got it right with 3. I got to get better at writing my stories. I thought that the underwater music one, people would be like, there's no fucking way that people did that. It was too outrageous and Alex Jones reminiscent. I was like,
Yep. That's what I thought. The Alex Jones thing was somewhere in your brain subliminally, and that's what made you pick frogs. And then when they
no.
were rainbow frogs, it sealed it for me. I was like, there's the gay frogs.
Oh man. I was just thinking like, I don't know, the rainforest. So I said rainbow. I don't know. Okay. That is the end of Patriots and Petticoats for this evening. Gentlemen, I hope you guys have a great week. To our audience and people who hang out with us every single week, we love you. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed the show, feel free to share, like, do all of the things, comment so that we get boosted in the rankings. That's always appreciated. We love you guys. Lodestorm said, I guess I like pancakes too much. I guess so. With that being said, you guys take care. Have a wonderful evening.